This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Rowe versus Buckner. You all have been together 8 years. I noticed that Mr. Buckner is 12 years your senior. And you all have been living together, but until just recently, you have put him out of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of these cheating allegations. Explain what is going on in your world.
I'm here today because I know he's cheating on me with the neighbor downstairs.
I'm not, baby.
I know he is.
Okay, you're like, it's this one right here.
This one.
This one, and
Yep.
it's the woman downstairs.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, tell me about the warning signs, though, that made you think it's the woman downstairs.
When he's lying, he sweats. So he can walk in the door and I ask him, where you been? He starts sweating, I know he lying.
That's his take.
That's not
Yeah.
all the time. Not all the time.
And
Whatever.
it's your gut that he's sleeping with the
Yes,
neighbor.
you know that tuition. You know that woman intuition.
Dread.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't-
real.
The dreads make me sweat.
No, it's not the dress.
dreads
He
make
be
me
lying. He's a liar.
The dreads
when
make
he's
me
sweating.
sweat because they be on my neck and stuff, and I be sweating. It sweat real easy.
He switched up his routine, has switched up. He's not calling me, letting me know where he's at. He's going different ways to work. He's just all over the place. Condom in his pocket.
Oh,
We've been together
man.
for 8 years. 8 years. We're not using condoms.
Y'all not doing that.
Nope.
She says you changed up some things. And in any relationship, when you change up things, sometimes that's good.
That's
but
what
she says you're changing
say.
them up for the bad.
I haven't changed
Your
nothing.
Honor.
I haven't changed
Your Honor.
nothing.
If I say they changed up, they changed up.
I kind of got to
The back
go
of
with
the
that.
hand, 8 years, you already know.
It's
They
just-
men.
So tell me about when she put you out, Mr. Buckner.
It's just where we stand at, you know what I'm saying? In our new environment, in this apartment where we has a lot of females. And so they be at me.
Oh, wait a minute, you see how I say that?
They be,
It's-
I don't be
it's not
doing
cool.
that. They be at me though. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not cool, Your Honor.
But I just talk and just be friendly, like cordial. That's it. We just talk. That's it. No friendly, no touching, no none of that. No hugging, none of that.
All right,
But
here's-
these women coming at you have got you put out the house. That's my point.
tell us about that.
Well,
Your Honor,
was-
let me tell
I
you
was
about
No,
it.
no, I want to hear from him. I
Okay.
want
I
to
was
hear.
at the apartment and we was sitting outside, we smoking a cigarette. So it started raining. They were like, oh, I'm gonna get my hair wet, and we hadn't finished our conversation. I tried to be a gentleman and let them in the house just to finish their cigarette. And she just happened to come in the door, like, and when she came in, they looked, and boy, they shot at the door, and I didn't get a chance to say nothing to her.
Look, I packed this stuff and put him out. That was it. Like, he had 2 women in my house. I worked an 8-hour shift, normally a 12-hour shift. But I came home early this day. Supposedly, you're just smoking a cigarette and it's
just
raining.
talking, though.
No.
We came in,
no.
we all in the
Your
same
Honor,
room, though.
This
Hold on.
man had 2 women in my house drinking my wine. And when I got there, you told me to chill. And by the time I turned around, they're gone. They jotted out
They
my
seen
door.
her
They
face.
didn't even introduce themselves
They
to me.
came in, seen
No,
her face,
don't interrupt
and
me
they
because I'm
got
talking.
somewhere.
Listen, he didn't even know I was coming home early that day.
It wasn't planned.
Because I normally work 12 hours, Your Honor. I normally work 12 hours. This day, I just end up coming home early.
So your concern is, 1, he's got the women in your house.
Yes, ma'am.
2, he didn't know you were going to be home. So what would have happened if he had had another 4 hours?
I don't know. You have to ask.
I think you're jumping. I think you're jumping.
No,
have
that's
to ask
exactly.
him.
Am I right? Is that
Yes,
what you're
ma'am.
thinking?
That's
All
what I'm
right,
thinking.
And you think he's cheating with the woman, the neighbor in your apartment complex?
Yes, I do.
Have you seen anything else involving the neighbor?
Yes. of
Tell me about
course.
that.
So, basically, he was off work.
Okay.
He do side jobs.
Okay.
So he said he was going to go hang a TV. All right?
All right.
He came back in like 30, 40, 45 minutes.
All right, so then he shows up 45 minutes later. You
So
like,
he came back. He tried to take a shower.
I was sweating.
Sweating. What I told you about the sweating.
you believe he was at the neighbor's house in that 45 minutes?
Yes.
And
And
you
I'll
think
let
he
you
was
know
at
why.
the neighbor's house because he came straight home and took a shower?
Yes, Your Honor, yes. So guess what I did? I told, this is too, it was too suspicious for me. So I told him drop his drawers. I smell his twigs and berries.
Twigs and berries?
Yes. It smelled like insects.
Oh. Okay, where did you go to hang this TV?
Downstairs.
At the neighbor's. Did you tell her you were going to the neighbor's?
No, ma'am.
Because
Not with
you
my-
knew that she would have a feeling about that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you run down, hang the TV, and come back and shower.
Yeah.
You see why this looks funny?
You see
Yeah.
why I smelled
But
them?
I was
Do you see
sweating.
why I smelled them?
But you saying you did not have sex with the
No,
neighbor.
And that's what the lie detector gonna show today.
All right. But you are convinced that he was not just hanging TVs.
And so what did you say at that point?
At this point, we in an argument. It was just like a blackout moment, like, let me get away from you.
She put me out the house. But no proof, and the young lady told her herself it wasn't nothing like that. I hung a TV.
So have you ever had a conversation or interaction with this woman?
Yes, I have.
Tell me how you got to that interaction. Tell me what happened.
I watched this man leave out the house early. I followed this man.
When?
Don't worry about it.
You brought an exhibit regarding following him,
Yes.
is that right?
May I show you, Your Honor?
All right, you want to cross to the monitor and show us?
So this is our complex. We stay at the top.
Okay.
The suspects stay at the bottom.
Oh.
He went right here.
And that's
why I seen him going.
How long was he there?
He was in there about 15, 20 minutes. Enough for a quickie.
And then you saw him exit
Yes.
and go to your apartment, or where he go?
No, he went to the right.
So he leaves?
Yes.
All right. So then what do you do?
Well, Your Honor, I had to get ugly because I knocked on the door and I said, ma'am, was my man just down here? She was like, did you ask your man? I said, no, I'm asking you because I just seen him come out of your apartment. She gonna like, you need to go ask him, and slam the door in my face. Oh. So this is the point where I called him.
Okay, come back to your
ma'am.
podium.
Yes, ma'am. I called him.
You called him?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said, he answered the phone so quick and hung up in my face. I'm gonna call you right back, babe. Hung up the phone.
I know.
So I called him again. He didn't answer the phone. And when he got home, the bags was there. The hotel was already booked.
So you put him out?
Yes, I did.
All right, Mr. Buckner, why you at Miss Toussaint's apartment?
I seen her. I had fixed the TV. I put the TV up. I guess I didn't put it up right, and she told me to just tighten some screws up. That's it.
I'm gonna answer.
And all you were tightening up down in Mr. Toussaint's apartment?
Yeah, I'm like, that's some interesting
it's a repeatedly
language.
thing. And why I can't know that you're going down here before you go to work?
Nothing happened. I'm gonna prove it today.
That's your story.
I'm gonna prove it today.
Okay.
Well, there's her side, there's his side, and there's the neighbor that lives downstairs side. She is here.
What?
You bring Miss Toussaint in.
Would you state your name, please, for the court?
My name is Marie Toussaint, Miss Haitian Sensation.
The Haitian sensation.
Haitian sensation. You know that's my man, right? You see me walking up and down the stairs with this man.
Miss Rowe, let me ask the questions.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I apologize.
The day that Miss Rowe knocked on your door, what happened?
The day she came knocking at my door, she was cursing, she was yelling. I slammed the door in her face. Cause her man came upstairs because I needed help with my TV. He's not really a handyman because my TV fell off. So I had to come back and ask him for help again.
See?
So she came down, knocked on your door, you opened the
Banging at my door.
and you opened the door.
Opened the door nicely. She's just yelling and all that. I was like, oh my God, just slammed the door. Like, I've been living here for 10 years. I don't need no drama. I'm just a Haitian sensation. So I just slammed the door.
Oh my God. Okay, you heard her say, that's the curse. She been there for 10 years and everybody upstairs been in and out because of her. She is the curse.
So, I mean, you knew why she was down there, right?
Yeah, she think I want her man.
Okay, so why didn't you just
Yes,
tell
she
her,
did.
look, I didn't have anything to do. I don't know what you.
can't talk to people.
You just
when
slammed the
they,
door.
Yeah.
You just slammed the door in her
I
face.
just slammed the door.
You
No
didn't say
drama.
anything to her?
No,
That's
I
how
don't want
she
no
be when she
drama.
turn
I don't
up.
need no problem.
She told me to go ask my man.
Talk
When
to
she
people
turned up,
when
that's
they
how she
not.
be.
No, can't.
Girl, please.
Do you believe Mr. Buckner is cheating?
Yes, he a flirt. I catch him looking at me, but I don't want him. He's not my type. It's her I want. But little did she know.
What?
You want Miss Rowe.
Yeah, little did she know. I don't like guys. So he did a bad job.
Uh-huh.
But you called them back
There
again,
it
though.
is.
You called them back again.
Free me.
So,
Girl,
if you
please.
wanted Miss Rowe, why did you slam the door in her face?
Cause she was don't got time for that.
Okay, well that kind of clears that up, don't it?
All right?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Miss
You're
Toussaint.
welcome, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Sure.
I think she's just lying to cover up for him.
You don't
And she like
believe
women.
that?
Exactly. Because you've
Okay.
been in my man's presence plenty of times to introduce yourself to me.
And that's never happened.
No.
And you feel like the reason she hadn't done it because she's doing things
Little
via.
creeps, yeah. Like she just told you he's messing and talking to other women in the neighborhood. We only been here for a year, Your Honor, in this apartment.
Flirting.
For a year.
Flirting.
She did say he flirts.
I say I flirt. I ain't messing with nobody, baby. I ain't messing with none of them women in the apartment.
All right. I think
Don't allow to take the test and you're not coming home.
That's one
it.
proof
That's
right there.
it.
All right.
8 years is enough.
Okay.
I think we've heard enough.
Ready to come home?
I think we've heard enough.
All right. Tell me what we got, Mr. Cutler.
We have Ms. Rowe's belief that Mr. Buckner is sleeping with Ms. Toussaint, the downstairs neighbor. We've got the incident where Ms. Rowe comes home and finds 2 women in her home.
Right.
It turns out one of those women was Ms. Toussaint. And so she's got this ongoing concern that Mr. Buckner is having some kind of inappropriate relationship with Ms. Toussaint. Not to mention he's a natural flirt, and so that's just got her ramped up even more.
That's right.
And for all those reasons, she's suspicious. Now, let me ask this, Ms. Rowe. If it turns out that he's cheating,
It'll be over. It'll be over, and me and my kids will be left hurt because you want to make decisions. You can't keep yourself to yourself, and you know what self I'm talking about. So it would be devastating. He's
You're
already
done.
gone.
You're done.
Yes, I'm done. I'm done.
Well, this court has done a full investigation. At this time, we would like to call polygraph examiner Kendall Shull to determine, is he cheating? Ron, would you escort him in?
Kendall Shull.
How are you, Mr. Shull?
Great, Your Honor. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Just for the record, you are a licensed polygraph examiner. You had over 30 years at the FBI. You headed their polygraph department when you left, and you have been in your own private practice in Knoxville, Tennessee for, is it 18 years?
About 18 years, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's talk about what you did.
Okay.
You asked Mr. Buckner, since being in a relationship with Miss Rowe, have you had sexual intercourse with Miss Toussaint? What was Mr. Buckner's response?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything you want to say to Miss Toussaint?
I apologize to you, Miss Toussaint.
That's it.
And I will come have a drink with you next
That's it.
I
All right,
apologize
watch
to
out.
you.
You better watch out.
Just thinking the same thing.
I'm just saying. Truth has been told up in here.
Set me free.
we still have another question. You asked Mr. Buckner, since being in a relationship with Ms. Rowe, have you had physical sexual contact with any women besides Ms. Rowe? What was his response to that question?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive, Your Honor.
Mr. Buckner?
I was nervous about that question.
It's the plan. This is the plan.
No, I talked to him. He'll tell you I was nervous about that question because he said sexual contact, and I was trying to see like what he meant, and I ain't have sexual contact, but I went to a strip club. I go to strip clubs a lot. Women grinding on me and stuff, but
Crazy.
it was no sex.
No.
All right, so Mr. Shull, would that constitute sexual contact?
Well, absolutely it would, but in addition to that, she also touched him as well. So that's definitely.
So that's what you allowing? He's gone.
I don't even know where to go.
I know exactly where to go.
Okay, tell me, Mr. Cutler.
We're gonna go to the next question. You asked Mr. Buckner, since being in a relationship with Ms. Rowe, have you had sexual intercourse with any women other than Ms. Rowe? What was his response to that question?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm coming home, baby. I'm coming home.
All right. All right. Is he coming home, Miss Rowe?
He can do another week since he fell one.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna eventually let him come home.
Yes, yes.
All right, Mr. Buckner.
Yes.
You need to stay out of strip clubs. All right? You need to be honest with your significant other. And when I say that, you tell her where you going. Transparency always works. Ain't no guessing, because I can look right at it, I see it, I know what it is.
Ms. Rowe.
Yes.
He's a flirtatious guy.
That's how he got you.
You knew that when you met him, right?
Yes.
So that's just him. He's not going to change. Now, he's going to keep it in check, right?
Right?
Yes.
And when you go visit Miss Toussaint, take him with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
You all have been together for 10 years and married 8 years.
Yes.
Mrs. Hendricks, why have you brought your husband to court today?
Because I feel that he's been cheating, and if he is, I'm done.
You look like you're already hurting. Tell me about that. How are you feeling?
A lot of animosity, a lot of anger and hate.
All right, Mr. Hendricks, what are you here for?
Here to prove to her I ain't done nothing wrong and I'm not a cheater.
And you understand what is at stake. She is saying if she finds out otherwise, she's out.
Oh, I'm perfectly aware of what's at stake. We have children, a house, a marriage, an entire life.
And you're planning to save that today.
Yes.
You better, me and the kids are leaving, and there's the girls and then the baby. I mean,
You're expecting?
yeah, I'm
Oh
6
my.
months.
It's our first son, Your Honor.
So there's a lot on the line.
Yeah, I'm just to the point where I want to get closure on it so I can get over it to make me and my kids' lives better with or without you.
When you do look at him, what is it that you see?
I feel like I gave my life to somebody who didn't care.
What do you see when you look at her?
Perfection.
Wow.
Even on best days, nothing but perfection.
So you still feel the same about her as you did when you first got together?
As a decade ago, yes, sir.
What did you see in him when you first got together?
He was amazing. I mean, he's an amazing father. My 13-year-old, she asked him if she could call him daddy, and he said yeah, and a lot of guys aren't comfortable with that.
Right.
He eventually ended up adopting her 4 years ago, yesterday, in fact.
Oh. He sounds like the perfect guy. Where did this go wrong?
He has an ex that was a mutual friend of ours. In fact, the day that I brought him over there to her house, we were picking her up. She had been drinking the night before. Well, she covers up her head. She said, "What's his name?" And I said, "Chris Hendricks." And she's like, "Oh my God, I had a past from like way back in high school with him."
Okay.
About a week after he proposed to me, she calls me up and she said, "You'll never know how he feels because he's never going to tell you." And I said, "Excuse me? What are you talking about?" She says, "Well, you know, whenever he proposed to you, it should have been me." I said, "Excuse me? That was almost 20 years ago."
Is this ex still in love with you?
Obviously, yes. I got a lot of them.
Oh,
A
no.
lot of exes or a lot of exes that are still in love with you?
I got a lot of exes and they're still in love with me.
That's not a lie. They contact him all the time. I mean, there's
No.
another time I called his job and a woman was like, "Well, who is this?" And I said, "Well, his wife." And she said, "What? He has a wife?" And she slams the phone down. He gets on the phone. He actually tells me not to call his job and tell them that I'm his wife. You still, to this day, have never explained that to me. And that was within the first year we were married.
It's a chef thing.
All right, so you're in the kitchen, you're cooking food, so why can't people know that you're married? Why
Because
can't
he's
people know you're
legally
married?
separated in every job that he works.
The fellow cooks know I'm married, just not the waitstaff.
Why?
Because they could take their aggression out on you, and if they don't think that you're married, you can make their night easier by flirting with them.
This is preposterous. I just.
Thank you.
That is just. And I cannot believe that every chef in the world is not married or is playing like they're not married so that the wait staff will get along with them. It's just unacceptable.
One of his family members told me that she actually seen him walk a woman out about 2 o'clock in the morning and kiss her.
Never happened.
Which part? That you didn't walk her out or you didn't kiss her?
I didn't walk anybody out.
So what happened? Why is she saying this occurred?
I have no idea.
He has a problem with the truth and
But it's your
honesty.
family member that told her that.
They don't like us together to begin with.
All right, so you deny that you were kissing on this woman.
Yes, sir.
You deny even walking a woman out.
Didn't walk anyone outside.
Okay, well,
didn't walk
what
anybody
about whenever your ex that I was telling you about earlier, well, a mutual friend of mine and hers had passed away. So I went and picked her up to go to the funeral with me.
Okay, so wait. You picked her up, took her to the funeral. Did she stay in your home?
She stayed at my mother's home, yes.
Okay.
We lived there because my mother is disabled. So we lived there taking care of her. And I went outside to smoke. She was in the shower whenever I left. Whenever I came back in, she was naked on the bed, and Chris was in there. He was turned towards the window, but you know how easy is it to flip around? You know, for all I know, the story that I got from her was he was trying to get an erection, and he couldn't because he was afraid I was going to walk in like I did. And he turned around to button up his pants.
Didn't happen either.
Well, Mr. Hendricks, why is there some naked woman in the room where you are other than your wife?
She invited her to stay. She's the one that jumped out of the shower and came into the same bedroom we were staying in.
Why were you in there, though? Why didn't you leave the room?
I was already there. Why do you think I was turning?
Why didn't you leave the room?
Man.
I mean, if there was a naked man on the bed with me or in the room, I'm pretty sure there would have been fights.
She was in a towel at first.
Okay. If she was in the towel at first, where was the towel when I walked in for
Ask
one?
her. She
All right,
took it off.
hold on. Why didn't you just leave the room?
I was in shock and awe about, hey, she
If you
came
were
out of the
facing
shower.
the doorway, you would have been facing me. There wouldn't be an issue.
How long were you in the room with her naked?
Oh, maybe 10, 15 minutes tops.
Thank you.
10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
10 or 15?
No, you couldn't be. Not 1 minute, not 1 second. That's
I thought it
unacceptable.
was say 10 to 15 seconds.
Seconds, yes. Like she drops her towel, you go out.
And then
She was sitting on
so
my
just
bed
come-
naked.
Okay, so you're telling me that a woman who has feelings for you is on your bed naked, and you're in the room with her 10 or 15 minutes.
Yes.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
She just laid down on the
She
bed.
just laid there. I turned around. She took the towel off. I just kept forward. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
So she's laying on the bed. You're standing looking out the window, facing away from her, just standing there for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
That
Really?
is so
I
bizarre.
don't know what to do.
This does not add up at all.
That's how it went. I mean, it don't sound right. It was
Okay,
a
well,
bad
what about the
judgment on me for
Facebook
staying.
messages I get from other women from your Facebook that come to my phone because it's set up that way?
That you pretend to be me because I don't
Yeah,
get on
I do
Facebook.
pretend to be you because it's happened before. I have evidence.
All right,
I
Rob,
have
would you
messages,
please bring that?
evidence.
Okay, so you're on Facebook pretending to be him?
Because I get a message from
All the
somebody
time.
that says that she works at the casino with him. She's talking about how she's imagining him nude and how sexy he is, and she can't tell him that because she's shy.
So in this text message exchange, there's another woman, and she's texting who she
There
believes.
are 2 different Facebook messages there from 2
Yeah.
different women.
Okay.
So the
And so-
first one is between the woman and she believes it's Mr. Hendricks, but it's actually you.
Yes.
So she says, I try to undress you with my eyes.
You know I'm married, right? LOL.
And then the other woman says, I thought you were legally separated.
Every
Okay.
time. I've heard that probably 6 different times.
So, Mr. Hendricks, why is there a woman out there who thinks that you're legally separated from your wife?
It was child support papers I got served with, and the sheriff said that I was separated, and when they brought it in to me, everybody thought I was separated, so I just went with that.
Did you think you were separated?
No,
Were you acting like you were separated?
I've never told anybody I was separated.
There is another message here from another woman.
Yes.
She writes, I liked you, but you hurt me.
Huh? How?
And she says, you messed around with me, plus you said, I am growing feelings.
You were growing emotional feelings for another woman.
Yes.
Okay, so now you understand why I'm like, you telling your coworkers I'm single or not telling them you're married, this is what happens.
I actually went on about having a 30-minute conversation with her. And she was telling me about my daughter and how beautiful she was and how she looked just like him. And
Did you call her up or did she call you up?
No, it was all on Facebook, so she
Okay.
had no idea that it was not him.
So this 30-minute conversation that you have,
She thinks it's
she
him.
thinks it's him.
Yeah.
I don't even know about these messages until she decides to get mad enough to tell me about them.
You didn't know.
Nope.
I called you and I told you I was getting ready to go meet her at the bar, and if you didn't want me to go to jail, you better show up there, so you did. Along with another one of my family members who picked up our kids in case I did go.
Okay,
she said-
talk to us. Talk to us. She thinks she's going to meet Mr. Hendricks
Yes.
at the bar.
Yes,
Okay, so
for
you
drinks.
get to the bar and what happens?
He won't go inside. I go in and I sit by her. She's sitting here texting me the whole time. Are you gonna come out? Are you gonna come out? I'm on my second drink. Are you in the smoke area? Everything like that. And I was like, no, I'm outside. I said, you come outside. Well, she starts walking outside to her car. And I go outside and I say, are you looking for somebody? And she said, yeah, I'm here to meet one of my coworkers. I said, are you talking about my husband that's standing right over there?
Oh, I was right there, because ain't nothing going on with this chick.
And what did she say?
She just kind of looked shocked. She didn't say anything to me, and she looked at him. She said, what the? And I said, yeah, what's going on?
Did she know he was married?
She said, I thought you were legally separated because that's what's going around the casino.
So mind you, though, all of this is because you won't tell folks on the job you're married.
I tell certain people I'm married, but certain people I just let it be. But this chick here, man, she made the whole relationship thing up anyway. I've walked in there with my ring on. She knows I'm married.
So it's your testimony that in spite of all of this, you have never physically cheated on your wife.
Not except for that emotional relationship that I had. That was
And who was-
that was a kiss
don't
once or
lie.
twice.
I was gonna say don't lie because you've admitted.
We had
kissing.
kissed once or twice, but everybody else I've never touched. Because
So
every
the
time,
last
I would come home from work, she'd spend more time on her phone. There was no communication. So I got communication
Okay,
from
my
a female
grandpa
at work.
just died.
Wait, Miss Hendricks.
We would sit here and we would, chit-chat and conversate on our smoke breaks at work. More and more and more. I got less communication with her. She was always on her phone and all that kind of crap, yelling at me, yelling at the kids. Me and her spent more time on our breaks. I wound up kissing her once or twice. It ended right there.
And so that's the only
That is
cheating
the only
you've
time.
done. And so what you're saying is the reason you did it is because you weren't getting the appropriate attention at home.
She cut me off.
I don't want to talk to him because, and I told him it's because I can't stand to talk to him. Sometimes I can barely look at him. I mean.
All right, turn to him and say, you make me feel like this.
You make me feel sick. I don't feel like you love me. You sit there and you talk about me being on my phone all the time, but I mean, where do you say, hey, you want to go do something? You want to talk? I mean,
I've tried that. You ignore me.
I do not.
You
I
sit
can
there like
ask
the kids can come up and ask you a question.
You
You
don't
don't
even
hear
go to
them.
sleep with me anymore. You play your Xbox all the time.
Yeah, 'cause
until like 4 in the morning.
You play on your phone until your eyes start to close, then you go to bed.
Because I don't want to talk to you.
Well, maybe I need to work on it.
You do, because it hurts real bad.
You need to work on things as well, though.
All right, to get to the bottom of this, the court has retained the services of a licensed private investigator. Ron, would you please show Ms. Jane Holmes into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Holmes, how are you?
Great.
Good to see you.
Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Ms. Hendricks believes that her husband is having an affair. In this case, in connection with the Hendricks, what did you do?
I went undercover with Mr. Hendricks here yesterday, and we sat in a room. I was pretending to be a litigant that was getting ready to have a lie detector test. I was trying to gain his trust so that he would either admit or deny his allegations of infidelity.
What, if anything, did you learn from your time with Mr. Hendricks?
Well, I spent a good amount of time with him speaking in the room, and I was trying to analyze his verbal language as well as his body language. We did a video. As you can see, he's sitting in an open stance in the room, which indicates to me that he really has nothing to hide. He seemed very open and honest and forthcoming.
In addition to your interview with Mr. Hendricks, he was given a lie detector test. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right. And Mr. Hendricks was asked, has he had any sexual contact or intercourse with a woman he had an emotional affair with? What was his response to that question?
He responded no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful.
Thank you. Wanted to get that out. That's been a big shadow over this marriage, and she just found out I'd never touched her.
Well, we have a couple more questions. Mr. Hendricks was also asked, has he had sexual contact or intercourse with 2 of his coworkers? What was his response?
He responded no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful.
And the final question, Mr. Hendricks was asked, had he had sex with his ex? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful.
What do you want to tell your husband?
I'm sorry.
Almost a decade together. You think I'd give it up? That easy? Flirting's one thing. I'd never stab you in the back that way.
And I do love you. You know that.
I love you. You and the kids are my life.
Mr. Hendricks, I feel you feeling this.
I feel everything. I just got a thick shell when it comes to showing it. This is what I came here to prove.
Break that shell and tell her how you feel right now.
I want to go home and be happy. Start all over.
I do too, more than any.